the governor's budget proposal, he assumed that there would be some closure on reform of health benefits and also the state employee and local pension systems to the tune of $810 million. In other words, he assumed that the savings that would be generated by changing those systems equal $810 million. The state treasurer gave out a chart. Barbara and I attended a breakfast that he spoke at the Business and Industry Association this past week, and he's projecting an increase in income tax revenues of about $450 million. If you take the savings that the governor scored and the increase in the income tax, that gets you to $1.2 billion pretty quickly, almost $1.3 billion. If the judge has said that the school funding formula is underfunded by $1.6 billion, it's not a quantum leap to believe that the state could find resources to make school aid whole without any material impact in other places. Of course, that means they have no surplus, and all the savings from these assumptions that they're making about changes to health benefits are evaporating. The problem is that all these things are big assumptions. We don't know what the revenues are. We don't know if these pension and health benefits reforms are going to generate the kinds of savings that are being proposed. We don't even know how quickly they're going to happen. But we do know that Judge Duane has said schools are short by $1.6 billion. And in particular, those 205 districts at the lower end of the spectrum are short the most. Therefore, the students in those districts are the most directly impacted. The governor has said, and he said it again this week, that he's not going to raise taxes in any way, shape, or form. So if some of the revenue assumptions that are built into the state budget proposal don't materialize, and the court tells the state they have to come up with $1.6 billion, the games begin. As a lot of you are aware, the state spends in excess of $1 billion that they call school aid for post-retirement medical benefits for teachers. Unlike municipal and county governments, the state picks up the cost of employers' pension and Social Security for local districts, which is another probably $1.5 billion. Could the state arguably say that in the context of funding the court mandate to increase school aid, we're going to reduce our commitment to post-retirement medical benefits? Probably not, because it's a contractual obligation. Could they say that we're going to find the money by reducing the subsidy for the employer's share of Social Security cost? They probably could. They're already not contributing very much to the pension system. Could this be an excuse to contribute even less moving forward? Perhaps. It's all very unclear. We expect that we'll hear arguments probably within the next 10 days or so from the Education Law Center. And I've heard unofficially that they're going to propose a remedy that phases in the required funding over a multi-year period.